Hi, good morning. This is Chen with Fridays. Today is Wednesday. I want to talk about how to winterize and protect your potteries and containers outdoors. Since now the temperature is getting colder, we get hard frost during the night. So today I want to just talk to you about different materials of the containers that especially for outdoors, as well as how to protect them. Now, there are several different kinds of the mainstream container material. Most commonly, I think, and my favorite is pottery, terracotta. So these guys are the terracotta pots. Now they commonly have this red and orangish look and have a really natural and earth tone to it. These guys are terracottas as well. They're just a little bit fancier ones. You can see the beautiful patterns of those. I really like terracotta, this material, mainly because it is porous and it's breathable. For plants, I think this is the best material. When you plant plants in a container of terracotta, the walls are actually they are breathable, so they allowed exchange of the air from inside of the pot, which is at your root zone, with the outside of air. So it allows moisture to wick up or wick out through the wall and allowed oxygen to enter through this breathable material into your root zone. So it's really good for the root development, and I do believe it is the best material for planting and my favorite. So terracotta pots, you want to protect them through the winter. Mainly is also because of their feature of being breathable, being able to absorb moisture. So if you have pot like this living outside in the cold nights, what will happen is that the pot will crack, because when the moisture being absorbed by the material and it holds inside, then when the temperature drops, the water freezes and it will result to the pot to crack. So for terracotta, you don't want to leave them outside throughout the winter. When it gets really cold, chances are that your potteries and your terracotta pots will crack, and yeah, that's not really good. So move those pots inside to your garage or to your basement. As long as it's beyond the freezing temp, those pots are safe. So um, now there's another kind of the pottery is it's uh, it's like this. So it's a glazed pottery. So it is absolutely beautiful. There are many pots, especially the large pots. They are in these kind of a glazed finish. So inside you see it's pottery. It's a rough, just like terracotta. And outside it has a finished glaze, shiny glaze to it. But the coating only coats the outside, not inside, and at the bottom is not coated either. So these kind of the pots, if you have these glazed pottery pots outside, I also suggest that you move inside to your basement or to your garage. Also because these pots often, the large sized ones, can be really pricey and expensive. So you don't want to run the risk of potentially have those crack due to the cold temperature and because of this material absorbs water. The glazed surface is not porous, it's completely sealed, and inside, however, is absorbable. So another thing is that I highly recommend you to empty the pots, no matter it's a terracotta or it's a glazed pot. I really suggest everyone to empty their pots, have no remaining dirt or any material that can get wet, and the water can be absorbed by the material, and leave them outside during the winter time. It's not good for the pots. So this is glazed material for the clay pots. And I have a piece of the terracotta over here just to give you a look. So this is actually molded by the mold in the machine. So it's a inexpensive material, but very, very efficient and functional. And of course, you have these kind of pots that is completely glazed. inside outside is glazed, it's definitely better protection because now the whole pot is sealed. It's not supposed to be absorbing moisture or water. But again, if it's an expensive pot, it's a beautiful, nice pot, don't run the risk of damaging it. So move it inside if you're capable of moving it, as long as it's not too heavy or it's not too big. And then you have your tin pots. So these are the metal tin pots that normally they're in smaller size. You can leave them outdoors, that they're not going to crack because metal, they're definitely more durable than terracotta and potteries. But the weather can get to them and they might get a little bit of a rusty, depends on the kind of the metal. But you can definitely feel okay of leaving them outside and not too worried about them being completely destroyed and cracked. So those are the tin pots. And then if you have pots like plastic, or this is a resin, or sometimes you will have seen a material called fiber clay, fiber stone. Those pots are also safe and they are frost weather resistant. You can feel okay of leaving those pots outside. They're not gonna crack. They're kind of a rubbery and durable. They're not porous, so they won't be absorbing moisture and water. They're nice, but they're definitely safe. Those are the kind of the safe pots you can leave outside. Plastic, sometimes I feel if it's not a great quality of the plastic, the color might fade. And due to the weather, due to the extreme temperature and the sunlight, the color might fade. So that's something to plastic is they're not as holding the color as well as those natural, pots. So those are two plastic and the resin pots. If you have pots that are clay or are terracotta, but it's so big or it's just impossible to move them inside, you can also protect them by wrapping them in blankets or in some sort of the, frosted blankets or straws or any material that is going to help to insulate the temperature from outside to inside. So you can wrap them up. Use something that is, you feel comfortable of displaying and outside, and make it look, nice and as invisible as possible. But you don't have to bring the clay pots if you can't inside. But wrapping them up, you can use many different materials, or even be creative. Use straw bales, use some kind of organic decorative stuff, and to make them look nice. But again, if you want to protect your pots during the winter time, definitely considering move them inside. Right now, actually, it's about the time you can start getting ready to move the pots inside. The night temperature right now is getting to lower 30s and actually upper 20s, maybe some nights. So sooner than later, move them inside so you can enjoy those beautiful pots year round, and with not to spend money and buy new ones. And that's all for today, and just want to share real quick with you. This is Friday's Fresh Market. We'll see you next time. Bye.